this was an adventure like I'd never done before. We started in my studio here in Northern Ireland, up on the North Coast, did all the backing tracks, and started looking at the ideas and going, how do we, and particularly because we were basing this record out of South Africa, we really wanted to experiment and use South African traditional rhythms and sounds from the townships and from the villages. And then we took those backing tracks and went straight to South Africa and spent an incredible week there recording with the young African voices, all of whom grew up in the African Children's Choir and are now older. Some of them 12, 13, many of them up as old as 18. And then from there, we took our little mobile studio. We were putting mattresses against the wall and all sorts of crazy stuff. We then took our little mobile studio, flew out to Vancouver, and then in a playroom that actually originally was a boardroom where the vision of the African Children's Choir was first brought to life 30 years ago, where Ray Barnett, the founder and president of Music for Life in the African Children's Choir, where he first shared the vision of the African Children's Choir, we actually got to record in that very room. So it was there was just a real sense of history about the recording, and the children and the young adults did an incredible job. And I think the record has already had wonderful reviews. We're really proud of the outcome. But I have to say what I'm proudest of is the incredible hard work of the children. They brought a passion to the recording that was unlike any record I'd ever made before.
We wanted to try and make the recordings authentic as possible. Sometimes recordings can be, it sounds like it's some white blokes from Europe that are making African songs. So we wanted to make it as authentic as possible. So we partly try to find out songs that the children enjoyed singing. So there's 3 songs on the album that are actually sung in Siswani and Zulu that the children sing. It's traditional kind of Christmas songs, South African Christmas songs. And then the other songs are classic Christmas songs, some of them contemporary, some of them a little bit older. And I tried to just go away and find a different slant on them. So most of them have a little bit of a different feel. Things like Silent Night would have more of a kind of tribal kind of feel to it with it rhythmically. And Breath of Heaven works really well with the cello. And there's that real image. And then Emmanuel, God With Us, you get this real sense when you listen to the song of like animals on the savannah or something like that. We try to make it as African as possible. And actually getting a chance to work with a group of children, a group of teenage children in Johannesburg. I spent 10 days with them in a residential centre. And so we do 2 hours of practice, then they go away and they just play for a bit, and then they come back and do another couple of hours rehearsal. And after 3 or 4 days, we had them in shape, and then Trey arrived and we recorded it. And the whole process was just one of the best. I said to my wife when I got back, it was probably the best 10 working days of my life, just the experience of hanging out with the kids, getting to know them, becoming friends with them, and getting a great amount of work out of them, a really good quality album. We're really, really happy with it.